Update video. A lot of people seem real interested in this M for some reason. But we let it set for a week. All kinds of stuff in the spark plug hole, from automatic transmission fluid to marble mystery oil to isotone, WD-40, all kinds of stuff. Well, I was rebuilding the carburetor for a friend of mine today over there. He reached over here, he put a pipe wrench on it, on the front of the crank, and he took it size 13 and kicked that pipe wrench, and he said, "Hoss, you ain't gonna believe this, but it's done moved." And sure enough, we kept pipe wrenching it on the front of the crank until we got a full turn on it, and then got done with his carburetor, and we got a full turn on it with the pipe wrench and put it out there on the strap and put the spark plugs out and let it blow everything out. Blew all the stuff, all the oil and all kinds of mess out and put in the spark plug holes, and it broke it loose. I don't think it was froze on the rings. It was froze, I believe, on, if I had to look at it and take a guess, it was not froze on the rings, because after it moved, I reached up and felt where the pistons was sitting at. It wasn't no groove, no rust, or nothing on the cylinder walls. I think they were froze on the wrist pins, I believe. I think it was froze on the wrist pins. But we pulled it and got it free spinning, and I'm not gonna spin it over right now because I'm not sure how this is the first time on a carburetor, one of these, and I'm not sure what I was gonna move on this if I was to turn the engine over on this little governor piece here. I'm not quite sure how that works. I'm not gonna spin it over, but if it's all the spark plugs in it, I got it just finagled up here. I went and got some boots for the air cleaner today. I had to get some fittings for the new bowl, glass bowl on here to hook the fuel line to. Went and got that today after we got it spun over, got it freed up. But it started on starter fluid. So we ran it for a few seconds off starter fluid. It's gonna run. I don't know about the oil pressure, the heat, and anything. I figured if it got it freed up and got gas to it, clean gas to it with a good clean carburetor, this thing's gonna go. I mean, like I said, someone in the last 10 to 15 years done already did every bolt restoration on this thing and painted it. It's just been weathered sitting outside because they had a flap on the exhaust. Like I said, it cranked off starter fluid. But that's kind of where I'm at. I got the carburetor over here dissected. I got the gas tank ready to be hooked up. I got to finish the wires. They done haggled all the wires up trying to start it in the past. And the reason they couldn't get this thing to start in the past, it locked up when they let it set because it couldn't get it cranked. I didn't video none of this. It would not crank because they couldn't get it to crank when it wasn't locked up, and they give up on it. But the reason they couldn't get it to crank was because the roll pin in the bottom of the distributor gear then sheared off. Why that happened, I have no idea. I have no clue why that was sheared. I've never seen one sheared. I was checking it for fire today, won't get no fire. Took the cap off, the points look brand new, condenser looks brand new, coil looks new, and the distributor wasn't turning. So I pulled the distributor out, and sure enough, the roll pin was sheared in the distributor gear. Got that replaced, put a new roll pin in it. I don't think it's supposed to have a roll pin. There was some sort of braided pin in there, but I went back with a roll pin. So put the oil pan back on there and all that. Got the oil plug fixed. The oil plug was stripped out. Got that fixed. And got the distributor fixed today. So got it started on starter fluid. But what I'm running to now, I got to just float. I got the carburetor over here all dissected. But problem got here now. Camera pick this up. Float's got a hole in it. got gas inside of it. I have repaired these. I've been squeezing on it. If I can find the hole, I can drill it wherever it's leaking, wherever the hole is in it, and re-solder it. So that's what they're soldered there. If I can squeeze it and find get the liquid that's in it to come out where it went in at, to find the hole, and I can drill a hole out, drain it, and re-solder it where it's leaking. I ain't about to replace them. Let me see if I can find one. If I can't get one pretty quick, got anxious now. I want to hear this thing roar. But pretty excited about it now. I got to turn it over. So I got to go through all these wires all finagled and boogered up, and they done took everything loose. They don't need to be replaced. The wire's in great shape. They just done unhooked this and unhooked that, trying to get it to crank, and it couldn't crank because the distributor, the roll pin in the distributor was sheared off. But got a whole long ways on it today by accident. Like I said, I wasn't even really planning on working on it today. Me and the wife supposed to have done something else together today. I brought it in here yesterday because it was gonna rain today. I wanted to get it out, have it out the weather. But that's what we got on it today by accident. We get the engine broke loose, got to spin over and got it started on starter fluid. I got to get the carburetor straight and these wires. And I'm gonna see if I can find a replacement chain for this hydraulic cap. The chain is going off at the end of this cap. So I'm just going to pour a couple of gallons of hydraulic oil in it for now. Maybe run me a stick down in there and see, maybe, I don't know how much you're supposed to put in there. It's supposed to have a little chain hanging off the end, but it's gone. See if I can get a replacement chain for it. But it's in real good shape. It's going to clean up real well, I believe. Well, the big question is what I'm going to do with it. My plans is I'm going to scrap the old 2444 I got out there. I'm going to do a video on that one day. Plans is I'm going to scrap that, and I'm going to remove the loader off of it. I'm going to put the loader on this. And I'm going to check. I don't know, and I'm very particular. I'm not a fan of the hydraulic pump, that hydraulic power steering up there. I'm gonna see what I can do about maybe taking the power steering off the 2444 and finagling it under the hood or something or another. I'm not sure on that, and plumb it into the hydraulics. That tractor has a nose pump up here for the loader. The 2444 does. That's not any question on this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plumb it into this port over here initially and try it. I got to do some figuring on that, but that's my plans for it. I'm gonna put my loader on this. That's a 2050 or 22. It's the one with the double cylinders on the front. But that was the whole purpose of buying it. That tractor needs thousands of dollars spent in it. Thousands. That thing is what they say, it's wore out from the rooter to the tutor. The whole engine needs to be rebuilt, and the crank needs to be turned in it. Needs some head work probably done, valve work. There needs a clutch in it. The clutch slips in high gear on the highway. Got a bent wheel on the front. The hydraulic lift on the back leaks down as soon as you cut the motor off. It won't lift a whole lot of weight. It'll lift up a 5-foot bush hog, but it won't lift up. Don't want to lift this up. Power steering works on it great. The loader works on it great. But the whole, it needs thousands of dollars spent in it. I mean, I got it running. I can use it, but that's about it. And it's slowly, the temperature on it slowly overheat, say over 2 hours using the loader. I can load my dump truck with it and I load that, but it won't load it 2 times in a row back to back. You let it sit and cool off. And I done flushed the radiator multiple times, 4 or 5 times. I done flushed the radiator. That was my first thought. There ain't nothing wrong with the fan. It's got to be something wrong with the head. There's no water, none in the oil. But anyway, we're junking that. You know, keep talking about that. That's going to be junk. And I'm going to finagle that loader onto this is my plan. That was my purpose of buying this. I said, my loader work on it. I measured everything. Farmall Fanatic, I checked with him. He's got a 400 or a 450. That's the exact same as the M framework. And all that stuff is the same. And he's got the same loader on his. So that's what we're going to do. I just wish I hope I can. I'm being great to put power steering on it. But it's not going to be that bad. We're going to move this front end too. I'm going to move these top front tires out to the edge of these rear tires because I need to adjust the toe end, and I made the tie rod short as it can be, and they're just tucked in bad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move the tires out, the front tires out to the edge of the rear tires, and that'll make my tie rods longer and give me some length. That'll give me length to adjust to shorten the tie rods some more when I move them out. That makes any sense. They won't go no shorter now, so I'm gonna move the front axles out level with the tire, and that'll give me more tie rod length to shorten it more. Because this needs to be pulled in to tuck the front of this wheel out. Both of them are tucked in bad. But pulling it around, rolling it, say don't steer too bad, but you get that loader on there with a loader on there, it's gonna stiffen that steering on up. I did love it at 2444. That thing got some fantastic power steering on it. But tires on it almost brand new, so, and they're loaded. They're loaded and got wheel weights on it, so it should work pretty good on the loader part, pulling wise. Hey, you ain't gonna get a full bucket of dirt in, no way. The biggest thing, heaviest thing I'm gonna do with it is crush and run and some dirt, putting it in my dump truck. I like to have a loader with my dump truck because I got a whole pile of dirt and rock and stuff that I'll be grabbing out of. Anyhow, that's where we at on this Farmall M. So we got the fuel tank straight. Working with this carburetor now. Got the firing straight. Got to redo the wires, top off the hydraulic oil, change the hydraulic oil, change the gear oil. I'm gonna see what it look like. But not a whole lot here. I mean, like I say, they crank right up off the starter fluid. Got to get a cylinder for this rear lift. I got all the arms and stuff to it. I just got to buy a cylinder. This is the kit that you can. It's listed as you better buy your cylinder separately. So I'm gonna put it on here and never off a cylinder. And I'm just gonna plumb it in here with the quick connects. I want to use some back here on the drawbar. I'm just gonna unplug the 3-point and plug in. If I use anything back there I need the rear remotes for, it's gonna be a borrowed implement anyway, because I can't afford to implement that big. My main thing is, do I purchase this for, is putting my loader on it. That's the main thing. Main thing I purchased this for was to put my loader on it. Just have some way to use my loader where they spending $3,000-4,000 on the tractor. Because that 2444, I'm gonna cut a separate video on it. I don't want to send it to the scrap yard, but I don't know who all will want it. I don't know who will want to even buy it after I take the loader off of it. It's got good tires on the rear. It's got weights on the rear. Got 3-point hitch on it. It's got the C153 engine, gasoline engine. The crank needs to be turned. It needs probably some head work done. It will run. It needs a new manifold on it. It needs a bunch. It needs a bunch. It needs more than my budget allow. Put it to you that way. But this tractor here is 100 times better shape. And I just love the looks of these. I was gonna buy one that even look like the Super. I was gonna buy one that either with a sheet metal either match up with the Super 8, or I was gonna buy one to match up with the 140. Was what my plan was with that loader. Been waiting around, hoping to run across something. I wanted one either in the super 8-year range or either that 140-year range with the flat grill on the front, bar style grill. But we done went with the M. The M and the A gonna be a matching set. Sheet metal. Like get a 240 or a 340. Matches the 140 bar style grill. But anyhow, or 460 or 560. But anyway, that's asking too much. All that's definitely out of my price range. Might get a 240 or 340. But anyway, that's where we at with this. We get the carburetor straight on it. I got to do something with that float. Float got a hole in it. And I think that the fuel system's gonna be straight after that. I'll get this carburetor straight. The starter brushes were stuck too. I had to take the starter apart and free the brushes up. They were stuck. Starter wouldn't do anything when I hooked battery to it. I got all that stuff just sitting in there. Anyhow, thanks for watching. An update on the Farmall M.